No, yeah, come on. Where's Greg? Greg has no voice today. Had I been with Greg, this conference wouldn't be taking place. No matter this, I was wishing to be with with Greg all the night. Okay, if you stay tonight, tomorrow I don't have to lecture. We can go out, whatever, how much you want tonight. Okay, well, getting back to that point. This photograph of me, I was not doing nothing bad. I was smoking a cigar with the president of Spain, with Mariano Rajoy. I don't want people to know that he's a friend of mine. Because in Spain, if you are a friend of the right wing, you're enemy of the left wing. And this girl uploaded this photograph publicly in Facebook and tagged me. And January the 1st, I had like 20 messages of all kinds saying, hey Manuel, so you're a fucking fascist. I'm not, come on, but you know, I also have to work with entrepreneurs who are left-wing oriented. And she caused me a problem. Now, I don't know if privacy issues.
No, but that's why I'm saying that's bias. You're not, and just because seeing your picture, they immediately, that's bias.
But that's the way it works. You cannot find that. When your generation is in power, it will be different. But at the moment, the guys who are making the decision are maximum as young as me, probably much older than me. And I tell you, if they see us partying where we shouldn't, or drinking where we shouldn't, or sniffing, okay, you're not gonna get the job. So I will tell the same. Keep 2 different Facebook accounts. I have 2 different Facebook accounts. I have one which doesn't appear with my name that I only share with my friends, and I have another one in perfect state of review where I only upload professional content. So if this gentleman, for instance, the principal of Cotruli contacts me, I can send Rasen the right the right Facebook link, not the other, okay? Because if not, I wouldn't be lecturing here today. You get my point? Okay. As Rasen, if he would have hired me for lecturing here, if he had seen me sniffing cocaine, man. Okay, so be very careful with the crap you upload, okay? Because you see here, like 35 companies are refusing to select candidates just because of what they see that they have uploaded to social networks, okay? Well, more and more companies are doing this, so we need to adapt to this new era, to these new times in which they are going to be using social networks more and more because it's much cheaper and it's much quicker. Once again, it's digital transformation. Do you remember what we're telling about this third key point, about the third level? You use digital media because it's faster and it's more efficient. And for human resources, it's absolutely the same. This is the digital transformation of the human resources department, and we need to be up to this. Okay, let me skip this part. By the way, this is 2Job Search. Have a look at it, okay? Because it's really worth to get to know this, because more and more companies are using this in combination with LinkedIn. Well, a couple of examples before we go with the practical model, okay? Examples. You all know this company. Probably you have read this case for the master, didn't you? Yes? Okay, perfect. So you know how do they do their recruiting. Do you remember how do they recruit? What do you have to do if you want to work for Zappos? There's only one possibility, to use 2Job Search. Because since they are providing all the post service via Twitter, they want all the candidates to be really mastering Twitter. So the only possibility for working for such an impressive company as Zappos is, you know, contacting them through Twitter and having very well positioned your personal brand in social media. But you may tell me, hey Manuel, that's Zappos, that's the States, they are 3 years ahead of us, this is still not happening in Europe. Okay, let me put you out an example, a very old example. By the way, this is my consultancy firm, Ideas in a Jar, okay? And we were hired by Accenture just to try to update, to digitally transform all the way they were doing the recruiting. Okay, so we kind of created a new system for recruiting consultants for such a big company as Accenture in Spain. Anyone has worked in the consultancy field here? Yep. How many interviews did you have to pass for getting the job?
Not quite a lot, because I worked for a bar
Okay, because you work for a partner. I remember when I started working for Arthur Andersen, that was the former Accenture. Okay, I had to pass 8 interviews, different kinds of interviews. Okay, psychological tests, role plays, all kind it was a mess, and it took like 2 months. Okay, so well, 2 things. It was time consuming both for the employer, both for the employee, and also it was not quick at all. Well, we already signed this completely, and well, we have also to take into account that for a consultancy firm, their recruiting is also a way of branding. Because come on, what's the consultancy? How would you define the consultancy business? What's the key for succeeding in consultancy, man?
Well, people have to be, they need to have skill of communication. That's the only criteria.
Absolutely. You're a salesman, in fact. Yes. Especially the more senior you are, the more your duties are purely commercial. Okay, because I will always define consultancy business as the art of sending a junior consultant to do the work and charging the company as if you were sending a super senior. Do you agree? Okay, so that's how you have a good margin. Okay, so at the end, the senior guy only appears there for closing the deal and for shaking hands and receiving the goodwills because of the well done job. So for Accenture and all these kind of companies to try to show to the market that they recruit the best possible talent in the country, is not only recruiting but also branding. So we decided to create a campaign. It's in Spanish here, but I will translate it. It's Test Your Limits. Okay? It was a kind of gamification that took place over social media. And we invited people to participate in this. You know probably Accenture, you know probably which are the requirements that the candidate needs to make to be able to work in Accenture. They have to have very good grades. They don't accept people coming from other degrees than business, engineering, physics, and mathematics. And well, an average grade of 8 out of 10 is required for being accepted. Well, in exchange, they provide with quite good salaries and a very good career. Not only within the company, it's also that if you have worked for a big consultancy firm, well, it's very easy for you to get good positions in other companies, okay? So we decided to create something completely different. And we created a kind of game. I don't know, the video is gonna be in Spanish, so it won't be of any use. I will explain it to you. We created a gamification that consisted of 4 different phases. In each of the different phases, you need to answer 10 questions, really difficult ones, and changing ones. Okay, so the questions were changing all the time, and it were not the typical psychological question where you have to decide if the figure that comes next is a triangle, a circle, or a square. Okay, you may need to use a complicated integral mathematics for being able to provide with the right answer and everything, because come on, they were looking for the most talented people of their generation, and also for people with a very strong mathematical background. So, well, we created this game in which you needed to go through 4 different phases, and those making it, those finishing the game, answering correctly the 40 questions, were immediately recruited with the only requisite of having just 1 half-an-hour meeting with one of the senior partners. Okay, so unless you were spitting in the table of the senior manager, you would be recruited if you were able to complete the game. And this game took place over social media, mainly Facebook, which is the social network that's used by people like in their early 20s now in Spain. But of course, for participating in this game could only be played from mobile devices. You needed to do it through Facebook, but you needed to provide your LinkedIn credentials just for us to be able to check if you were saying the truth. If maybe you were saying that you were, about to finish your degree in mathematics, and in LinkedIn you had that you were studying journalism, and they are not interested in people studying journalism. Okay, so I act as a filter for this. Well, it was a tremendous success, and out of a universe, out of a, let's say, market of 16,000 potential candidates that met the requisites in the Spanish market, 12,000 were participating. So, well, from the standpoint of branding, it was tremendous because, well, Accenture could generate, a campaign saying that nearly every talented Spaniard had been competing for joining Accenture. That afterwards would, raise the perception about the talent that was being sent to your company for getting some consultancy work done when you were hiring Accenture, so Accenture could charge higher prices. And, 44 guys only out of 12,000 were able to finish the game. I told you it was quite complicated to finish the game. But the price for finishing the 4 levels was to get admitted in Accenture, to join Accenture. But you have other incentives. Every time you were finishing one of the levels, you were receiving different prizes. For instance, I remember an iPad or a computer, Xbox, different prizes for finishing the different levels. And well, I told you, it worked terrifically well, and nowadays it's one of the cases that's studied in the Accenture University in Chicago. The best about this, probably you're thinking it was done last year. No, it was done in 2011. Okay, so we were the first project of Human Resources 2.0 in Spain, and from that moment on, nearly every company in Spain has followed this trend, and they are all starting to recruit, no matter they are much smaller companies, through social networks. So we need to be able to position our brands in a completely different way, in a digital way. And well, for doing so, let's skip this part, which is more theoretical. I also leave you here a case study, okay, of another of my students that got repositioned just by using these techniques. I told you I have hundreds of success cases. In fact, I've written a book that's been published in Spanish by Walter Kluber, which is called precisely like this, Digital Self-Branding Plan. I have here this story of Elena, who had been working in an advertising company and wanted to start working in the consultancy firm, and now she's one of the senior associates for Deloitte. So you have here everything that was done for her. I don't have now time to get into it in detail, okay? But what's important is that you start by creating your personal web page. And you probably are thinking, hey man, I don't have money to invest in this precise moment for creating a web page. No worries, okay? I'm recommending you a tool that will allow you to do it for free and in less than 10 minutes. In fact, those of you have a computer at hand or a tablet at hand, don't hesitate and go to this website where you will be able to create your personal web page in less than 10 minutes without the need of knowing a single word about developing any code, about coding. It's called about.me, and it will allow you to create your web page instantly. This is the web page that we created for Elena, and here are all the links to the social networks where she was created content in order to prove the knowledge she had in the field in which she wanted to work, in her micro niche of influence. Okay, creating a web page in About Me is really simple. If you get into the About Me web page, there's even a video tutorial that lasts less than 2 minutes. It's a proof of how simple it is. You only have to provide a photograph of yourself that will transmit what you wanna transmit. Okay. You also have to put your name. You type it, and that's all. And this is the most difficult part, of course. You have to explain your unique selling proposition. You have to explain why, in a few words, why you think that you are the best prepared candidate for the micro niche of influence of your selection, the one that you have decided that best suited you. Okay, once you're done with this, have the opportunity of linking to all the social profiles. And this way, what are we doing? We are creating an SEO campaign for this personal web page, because one of the things that's more important for Google's page rank is the number of links that point to the web page. So we're going to be taking care of a lot of influencers linking your personal web page, and also you're going to be receiving a lot of links in all the social networks that are linked to this web page. So if the micro niche of influence doesn't have a lot of competitors inside, if the unique selling proposition that you're designing for yourselves is really unique and you don't have that many competitors there, in less than 6 months, if you keep creating content in different social networks, your page rank will start to improve and improve and improve. And since you don't have that many competitors, it's going to be very easy that in 6 months you will appear in the first page of results when someone, an employer, types the keywords corresponding to the micro niche of influence that you have defined. That's why it's been so easy for us to reposition our students and have them obtain a much better job. The only thing is that we have to work with them to define very carefully the micro niche, and that's precisely what we're going to be doing here. Well, you have here the tutorial for how to create the About Me page. It's really simple stuff.